Hi, it's Jamie Farrell with Creative Cables here with you today. And we had a question from one of our customers, Eric, who was asking us if you can use our XL rope cable. This is actually a real rope that has wire inside of it. But if you can use this rope cable with our cement lampshades. And the answer, Eric, is yes, you can use that. So we're going to show you exactly how to use the cement shade with our rope cable. Again, this is the 16 millimeter rope cable. This is what we consider our smallest cable, but technically on our website it goes as XL. So this is an XL rope cable. This one in particular is natural linen, and this is our cube-shaped cement lampshade. So let's show you and get busy on how to create a light with this cement lampshade and our rope cable. First thing you want to do is we're going to make sure that the end is taped well. So we want this end taped well because what we're going to do is we're going to thread it through the hole in the cement shade. So as you can see here, we've got a hole right at the top of the cement shade. The key here is when you're doing it, you can't just push. If you just push, it's not going to go through. So what you do is gently push and twist at the same time. So as you see, I'm just twisting and pushing, twisting and pushing, twisting and pushing. So we'll keep doing this until we've got it through to the other side, and we're there now. So the next thing we want to do is we want to pull it far enough out that we actually can work to put the socket together. And you'll see right here we have a thermoplastic socket. So we've got this through here enough. Now we're going to do is we're going to have to cut off the ends of this rope cable so that we can actually see the electrical wire that's running in it. And to make sure it doesn't unravel too far, we're just going to use some tape here. And we may actually, as I do this, I'm noticing I probably want to pull it up just a little bit more because it's not much room because of what we're going to use. The strain relief here is going to cause it to need a little bit of extra room. If I was working on the round cable, our normal pendant wire cable, that would have been plenty of room. But because we weren't, we're going to need a little bit more room here. And look at that, our tape kind of got stuck back there. But quickly and easily we have the tape. This time, you can see I've pulled that back. That's roughly probably about 2.5 inches or so. About 7 millimeters if you're at home working with your metric system. Which all of our cable is made in Italy at our factory just outside of Torino. It's outside of a small village called Chieti. And everything they do in Italy is undoubtedly the metric system. So we've gotten pretty used to working in the millimeters and centimeters here at Creative Cables USA as well. So as you see here, we're just going to unravel this cable. It's pretty easy. So we're going to expose the wire inside. I've got my handy scissors here, and we're just going to snip that off. Now we're going to carefully, making sure we don't nick the wire underneath, but we're just going to go in and neatly take off the cloth wire cloth rope that's all around. We're going to do that on all 3 wires. The rope cable that we have is, it's a European standard cable. So it comes in European standard colors. We have a blue, a brown, and a yellow and green stripe. The yellow and green stripe is traditionally used for ground. So that's your ground wire. The blue is going to be your neutral wire, and the brown is going to be used for your hot wire. So we've got this ready. It's kind of fun actually doing this. Right now in the back, one of our team members, Andrew, is making about 40 or so pendants out of rope wire. So I don't know if he's thinking this is fun right now, but it's kind of fun to unravel them a little bit. So now we'll just nice and neatly trim up these wires, this cloth around the wire, just to make it look good. Again, make sure not to nick any of the cables. So we've got everything here. The next thing we want to do is undo our strain relief and have the exposed wires go through the top of the strain relief here. Now we're going to, good catch I guess. Next we're going to screw in the bottom portion of the strain relief into the socket. So we've got it in the socket. There's also a small screw in here that will lock that down. So we're going to go ahead and screw that in. And also inside the socket, right here, we're going to unscrew the piece where the ground wire is going to go. So there's a little screw in here. We just want to unscrew that some. You don't want to take the screw all the way out, but you just want to loosen it until it gets to a tight point again. So that means it's a space here that we can insert the ground wire when it's ready. Next, we just strip the ends of the cables off. I'm going to twist these just to make sure all the little individual copper strands are all in place. And we're going to insert it into the top of the socket and the other strain relief. We'll pull that through and get everything in order here. There's some little pieces that you'll have to kind of tuck in to make sure they go in the top of the strain relief. And then we just screw the strain relief piece onto the top piece, which connects it nice and tight there. So now that we have that, we will then retwist our wires to make sure there are no loose strands. And we will tuck the ground wire into the interior grounding. So we've got that there. This works best if you have some needle nose pliers. You can actually get it, bend it, put it in there, and it's definitely much easier with needle nose pliers. We've done this enough that we've become pretty accustomed to doing it when needed with our fingers, although we actually prefer working with needle nose pliers too. I just forgot to bring them up here for the demonstration. So I'm just touching these up one more time to make sure they're all good. This is the interior piece of the socket. The interior piece of the socket has a silver side and a brass/gold side. We want to put the blue wire, which is the neutral wire, onto the silver side. So we just put that in. There's just a little hole here, and all we have to do is tighten it up. I'm using a small flathead screwdriver. This is my favorite one in the shop. We call it Old Bluey. Andrew, who's back in the bag now working, has another one. We call him Tiny. He's a little bit smaller version. So now we're putting the brown wire into the brass or gold colored connection. That's the hot wire. So we've now wired this up. We get this in place. We just get the other portion of the socket and it just screws on. You might have to kind of twist a little bit because it kind of fits in there just right, and you'll see that we have it nice and tight now. Now here comes the next step to make this work with it. I'm going to pull through. I'm going to just create a knot. I don't want the knot being too close to here or else it's going to pull through. So we're just putting a knot in right here. Doesn't have to be all that tight. Actually, you don't want it super tight. Something like this would just be perfect. So now we pull it back through and voila, we have a rope cement pendant light. So that's how you do it. So if you're scoring at home, all you need is one of our cement lampshades, the XL rope cable. The 2XL and 3XL are not going to be, their diameter is going to be too big to fit through here. So make sure you only go with something XL shaped. We also, this works with our pendant light cord as well. And we have a whole separate fastening system for the top. We'll do a separate video that shows you how you would work this with our normal pendant light cord. But this is the 16mm /XL rope cable. This one happens to be natural linen. And of course, for this end, you could either put it through one of our wooden canopies or any canopy you want, or you can work it as a swag light and wrap it around a base like this really anything you want to do. We could put a plug on it if we wanted to on the end. You just have to find a way to make it nice and neat so that we don't have all the exposed rope on one end. But hope you enjoyed this demonstration. If you have any questions, please feel free to make a comment below or email or call us at any time. My personal email is Jamie, Jami.Ferrell and that's Ferrell at creative-cables.com, and we're happy to help you. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day.